Hey everybody, this is Marley K. Hope everybody is doing well. Got a story from the National Catholic Register. I think it just came out today or yesterday, but I'm talking about it because it is associated with worship. And we know that worship is the mark or the seal that the Most High is going to use to determine who's his and who's not, who's the sheep and who's a goat, who is the adversary or belong to the adversary and who belongs to the Most High. So that's why I'm talking about this story. I just want to make it clear. I know a lot of people don't feel as though we should be paying attention to the Pope and how he plays into end time prophecy. But if you understand some of the other things that are happening, you cannot ignore how this story plays into all the other things that are going to be linked with this beast system, the no buy, no sale system, and paying attention to what is going to be required for worship, because it is going to be how a lot of these saints are persecuted, and people who see themselves as saints really are not going to be saints because they don't know the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments when it comes to keeping the Sabbath, keeping the law, and just you know the day of rest in the days that we are supposed to keep. There's nowhere in the Torah that it says we're supposed to observe Easter. So again, I really advise you to buy you an Apocrypha. Read it. You need to read Jubilees. You need to read Jasher. You need to read the book of Enoch. You need to read Second Baruch. In addition to just reading the Old Testament, start with Genesis and go to Isaiah, Jeremiah. You need to read Daniel. All the it's there. Like nothing ever changes about what we are supposed to observe, what we are supposed to keep in order to show the Most High we belong to Him. Even if we don't do it perfectly, even if we fail, when we start observing, keeping pagan holidays and doing pagan rituals and being led by the this is called the Vicar of Christ, which is the replacement of the Messiah, then we're being disobedient. We're idol worshiping. We are worshiping the adversary, and we're going to pay a price for that. So that's why I'm talking about this story. Hope y'all roll with me. So it says the Catholics will accept a common date for Easter in the East and West, the Pope says. So the beast is speaking, and he's making it clear about uniformity. It's starting with the Catholic Church, but if like I've been talking to y'all for the last couple of years, you look at all these this Christian nationalism, it's Catholicism. This this push to get Sunday as the day of rest, that's Catholicism. That's the Roman Catholic or the Roman Empire. The observances, all these rituals and days, holidays, the calendar, all this stuff is from Babylon, which is just the Roman Empire is in the evolution or like a closeted Babylon. And America is a part of that because it is the offshoot of uh, Britain. So, or I'll say England. And if you know anything about the history of Edom and how they've evolved, it's not complex if you understand history. If you don't understand history, you're not going to understand any of this. But I advise you to try to get you some books and read them, because this thing is real, and it is not hiding anymore. So they're not even hiding it. If you don't know, it's because you don't want to know. Anyway, let's get into this story. Pope Francis gives his homily during an ecumenical evening prayer service marking the end of the week of prayer for Christianity, January 25th, 2025, at Rome's Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls. So, celebrating the week of prayer of Christian unity. Remember that all this is the beginning of their year, 2025. 2025 is starting off with a bang. Pope Francis reaffirmed the Catholic Church's willingness to accept a proposal for a common date for celebrating Easter in the West and the East. Now, listen to the language. He reaffirmed the Catholic Church's willingness to accept a proposal. So, when you presenting him a proposal, it's like he's making the decision of whether or not the world will observe whatever, here is Easter. It's not anything that we're supposed to observe. It's something that they created. So it's crazy. Noting that in 2025 the date coincides with the West's Gregorian calendar and the East's Julian calendar. So you go look up those calendars. I ain't got time to go into that. Francis said that I renew my appeal that this coincidence may serve as an appeal to all Christians to take a decisive step forward toward unity around a common day for Easter. Come on, y'all. Y'all better pay attention. The Catholic Church is open to accepting the date that everyone wants, a day of unity, he said January 25th during an ecumenical evening prayer service at Rome's Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls. The service marked the end of the week of prayer for Christian unity, which focused on this year's celebration of the 1700th anniversary of the Council of Nicaea, which gave Christians a common creed and a formula for determining a common date for the celebration of Easter. Before the Council of Nicaea, different Christian communities celebrated Easter on different dates. The council decided that for the unity of the Christian community and its witness, Easter would be celebrated on the first Sunday after the first full moon after the spring equinox. But the Julian calendar, which is what Christians used in the 4th century, was increasingly out of sync with the actual solar year. So March 21st, generally assumed to be the day of the Northern Hemisphere's spring equinox, which is basically the Most High's new year, which they're not telling you. Let's forget it. Gradually drifted away from the actual equinox. It wasn't gradually drifted away. It was intentional so that you wouldn't know. The goal was to get as far away from the laws and statutes and commandments that as they could, so that we would forget who we are. We would forget the feast days. We would forget the times and seasons. And we would not know who we were. And so that is what they have accomplished. And so now, this is why you have so many people fighting you about Christianity and getting back to Christian values. Folks don't even know what they're doing. So if you go back, like, this is a very good article, in my opinion, for you to just pick apart and like study the different calendars. It's a good tool to use to figure out how they came up with their solar year in the spring equinox. Where did that come from? In the actual equinox, the difference between, what is an equinox? Who came up with it? Why do they have that? I mean, where our extra month that they took away from us? Study the Council of Nicaea. Like, there are some things in here that are really important. If you start studying them, it'll answer all the questions that you'd ever have about Christianity, the change, what's real and what's not, and why. If it's not real, then why change it? If it didn't have power, then why go all over the globe and try to take out people who observed it, and then take it and change it so that nobody would know that this is what the Most High wanted us to do, the Creator. So, anyway, in 1582, Pope Gregory the X111, I don't know these Roman numerals. I have not intended to know them because I ain't Roman. I don't care. Reformed the calendar, dropping 10 days and making the equinox fall on March 21st again. Most Eastern Christians did not adopt the new calendar, leading to a situation where Easter occasionally is on the same day, but Eastern Christian celebration can be as much as 4 weeks later. So as you can see, they're telling you, it's another piece of information that you can use to research why the Creator's calendar is so different from the modern calendar. And you'll know who changed it. The Most High didn't change it. It's telling you. The Pope changed it. Francis has reaffirmed on several occasions the position officially taken by St. Paul, whatever, in the 1960s, that if Eastern Christians agree on a way to determine a common date for Easter, the Catholic Church would accept it. The ecumenical prayer service began with Francis praying before the tomb of St. Paul. He was joined by Orthodox Metropolitan Polycarpos of Italy and Malta, and by Anglican Archbishop Ian Ernest, director of the Anglican Center in Rome. The Orthodox and Anglican bishops also joined the Pope at the end of the liturgy in giving the blessing to the crowd. The theme of the 2025 week of prayer was Jesus' question to Martha of Bethany. Do you believe this? What? Oh, Lord, come and get your cheerings. Not us, though. I'm talking about the other Lord. Ball, get your cheerings, because they is cutting up, baby, down here. In the Gospel of John, Martha tells Jesus that if he had been there, her brother Lazarus would not have died. Jesus tells Martha, quote, I am the resurrection and the life. Whoever believes in me, even if he dies, will live. And then he asks if she believes. Martha responds with a declaration of faith. Yes, Lord, I have come to believe that you are the Messiah, the Son of God, the one who is coming into the world. I'm going to let y'all meditate on that. The fact that he chose that passage. Do you believe? Great deception, strong delusions. Do you believe? The irony of it all. Francis said, this tender encounter between Jesus and Martha from the gospel teaches us that in the times of desolation, get out of here! We are not alone, and we can continue to hope. Jesus gives life even when it seems that all hope has vanished. So I know y'all be thinking I be crazy. I'm not crazy. The people are speaking. The devil is speaking to us. He's telling us what's coming. 2025 is going to be a year of desolation. Now, where it occurs, I don't know. But I think Christians should really pay attention to this. And people who are believers, followers of the way, should also pay attention to this. I don't think any of these words, the choice of words, are accidental. Because that's not how the powers operate. Hope can falter following difficult experience such as painful loss, an illness, a bitter disappointment, or a sudden betrayal, the Pope said. Ooh, so it sounds like we're going to lose some stuff. We're going to be sick. Folks going to be disappointed because they're going to take their money and they're going to lose stuff. And be sudden betrayal. All your leaders and your kings and your politicians and your celebrities, even your local people, your local police, your family that work for the government, they're going to all be betraying us. And not only that, just the new kings, the tech kings, all these business people, people have come to rely on all these things in about the system of Babylon and not set themselves apart. So they're going to be disappointed. And so I feel like, this is a prelude. This is a foretelling of what is to come very soon. So I encourage y'all to brace yourselves, get ready, get your faith up, get your strength up, because they're not saying this stuff for nothing. Although each of us may experience moments of despair or know people who have lost hope, the gospel tells us that Jesus also restores hope because he raises us up from the ashes of death. Sometimes, the Pope said, people may feel like the search for Christian unity has reached a dead end or that ecumenical dialogue is doomed to failure. But he's letting you know that he is here to save the day. The Vicar of Christ. The replacement is here. He's talking. You should listen. All of this makes us experience the same anguish as Martha. But the Lord comes to us, he said, do we believe this? Do we believe that he, and notice he is lowercase here, he is the resurrection and the life. You always got to ask who they talking about. And then the fact that they talking about the J person is all you need to know, because he ain't even real. That he rewards our efforts and always gives us the grace to continue our journey together. We ain't supposed to be together. We supposed to be set apart. Come on now. Do we believe this? In the words of Dave Chappelle, you don't. The anniversary of Council of Nicaea is a year of grace, an opportunity for all Christians who recite the same creed and believe in the same God, the Pope said. I'm going to read this to y'all again. The anniversary of the Council of Nicaea is a year of grace, an opportunity for all Christians who recite the same creed and believe in the same God, the Pope said. What God they talking about? Because it ain't the one that we fought. It's not ours. It's somebody else. Let us rediscover the common roots of the faith. Let us preserve unity. Let us always move forward. May the unity we are all searching for be found. So I just want to share that little thing with y'all. Y'all better get ready. Seemed like Easter is one thing. The next thing he's gonna be saying, we need a day of rest on Sunday. After all these calamities and the desolation happens, the earth gonna need to rest, and then we're gonna be getting introduced to Sunday laws. So keep in mind that the Catholic churches all over the world, they have they are a government, and they are in every country almost on the planet. So I may say Catholic church, but you just think about the Roman Empire, the Catholic government, because that's what basically the Catholic Church is. It's a government, and a lot of their laws and their languages have been used to create laws all over the country, even on the continent of Africa, because they colonized it. So, just recognize the roots of Rome are roaming, and we never need to take our eyes off this governance structure and this person who speaks and wears a hat that says he's the replacement of the Messiah. He's the replacement of the Most High. He is the earthly replacement. That body is. That's what the vicar of Christ means. So, again, if you understand, those who have knowledge and understanding, take heed. Those who do not, you need to get in your word and pray to the Most High that He gives you wisdom and understanding and a boldness to share this with other people, because the Most High does not want anyone to be lost to the adversary. But He also gives us free will. And that is something that the adversary is taking away. The adversary does not believe in free will. He believes in whatever the Most High believes in, he believes the opposite. So when you read the word and the Most High gives you a choice, you see where the Messiah, time and time again, we have choices to give up our riches and follow the Most High, or stay with the adversary and keep our stuff. It's always just two choices. It's always just two. You don't have a whole bunch of choices. It's right or wrong, good or evil, left or right, wide path, narrow path, bride, bridegroom, set apart, not set apart, mark of the beast, not mark of the beast, sealed. So you're always gonna have two choices. You ain't gonna have a lot of choices, but you will have choice. And so in this hour, while you still have time, the internet working good, you can still find stuff. They ain't took everything away. Use this article, chop it up. This is a perfect article to do research on if you are a Christian, or if you are a believer and you just know in your heart that this is the right way to go to get back to the law, statutes, and commandments and keep the Torah. Understanding if you're coming out of Christianity, not necessarily understanding everything. I think this is a perfect piece to pick apart so that you can do research and learn. So I strongly recommend everybody does that. It's a very daunting journey, but it's a rabbit hole. Like you could learn off of this piece all year long. It's just so much information in here. It's very rich. That's the other reason I shared it, because y'all know I'm a nerd. Anyway, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Keep watch. Please keep watch, because a lot of things are happening, and things like this are, I think, go under the radar. A lot of people are not paying attention to the Pope. They focus on Trump and Elon Musk, and not saying they're not important people to watch, but this is what you need to watch. This is the organization or the government structure that changed everything, and it was hidden. It is coming out of hiding. It is reinstituting itself as the head, and all the nations, all the kings are giving away their power, which is why they all have to go kiss the ring. They all have to go visit. It's evident. So anyway, if you'd like to support the channel, my links to my Venmo and my coffee are in the description box below. If you'd like to follow me on other platforms like Odyssey and Rumble and Instagram, the links are for those platforms are in the description. I don't know if they'll be available if anything happens to this particular channel, but in the event that something does happen to this channel, you can follow me on those other platforms. And again, the links are in the description. Lastly, read your Torah, read your Bible. Start with the Old Testament. Obey those law, statutes, and commandments. Keep the Sabbath, keep the feast days. Learn what holiness and righteousness is. You need to repent daily for sins of commission, sins of omission. Learn how to live set apart. And a part of living set apart is doing your research and understanding why we as a society or as a world do certain things, and then change Learn to be a student all over again. Understand that you don't know anything. Start with a clean slate and just learn. Be careful. There are a lot of doctrines of devils out here, a lot of false teachers, a lot of false prophets, a lot of people, just picking up platforms and preaching and teaching and doing all kinds of stuff. Just choose wisely who you listen to, who you respect, and the only thing I can tell you is read and get your own understanding. Buy you a complete Apocrypha, a Torah, Sefer, whatever you want, but you need to get all the books, even the books that were removed from the Torah. Read them. The most important stuff I have found that makes the Bible make sense have been in the Apocrypha. So get you an Apocrypha, read it, and I recommend getting all your stuff in hard copies because everything is changing. Things are being removed and hidden from the internet, and soon you're not going to be able to find nothing. When we have to be quiet, at least you will have a hard copy of the word so that you can read and meditate to find strength when we all are going through this desolation. Remember, we are in the belly of the beast and we have to prepare, not just physically prepare, but with food, bread, and water from the Most High, and that's His word. So, any event, I'm out of here. Love y'all. Take care. Read this article really good. Do some research and leave me your feedback below in the comment section about what you think of Papa talking. Because I told y'all Papa been talking a lot. Got to pay attention to what he says though. All right. This is Marla K. Love y'all. And I'm out.